Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into a really powerful piece called Talking About Jesus.
Oh,
It tackles this fundamental clash, doesn't it, between, absolute divine authority and our own stubborn human will.
that's exactly it. That's the mission today. We're trying to unpack the paradox right at the heart of this text because it describes this power that's just immense. It runs the whole cosmos. Stars, wind, storms, darkness, everything.
Everything listens.
Right. Yet the same power hits a wall, sort of. The single biggest point of resistance, the human heart.
Okay, let's start there then with that huge scale. The text really emphasizes just how total this authority is. It's not just strong, it's perfectly obeyed, you said. How does it show that?
It uses some pretty breathtaking images. Like the stars, they don't just shine, they shine because they're told to.
Ah, okay, it's active obedience.
Exactly. The oceans stay within their bounds, storms just stop when commanded. And it even says darkness trembles. The text sums it up. Nothing in creation can stand against your power. It's this picture of perfect harmony.
That's a staggering idea of order.
Yeah.
But hang on, if the authority is that absolute, if nothing out there can resist, well, how can the author even argue? Doesn't our ability to say no kind of imply a limit? Or maybe, I don't know, a deliberate choice to allow that refusal?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's why this text feels so raw and real. It pivots right there from the whole universe obeying down to the inside of one person, contrasting all that cosmic obedience with what it calls the stubborn and proud human heart.
Right.
It suggests the resistance isn't like an external force blocking the power, it's an internal choice. We choose our own path, our own desires, even when we hear that other voice.
And the language used there really lands. It captures how audacious that feels. There's that line about self-awareness.
Yeah, this part. How strange it is, Lord, that everything in creation obeys you, but I, a small human made from dust, argue with you.
Wow. Yeah. That just shifts everything, doesn't it? From
Yeah.
some big philosophical idea to this really personal, almost embarrassing moment of pride.
Precisely. It's like admitting intellectually this fight is ridiculous, given the power we're talking about. And that leads straight into the plea, the desired outcome. The author asks for that selfish part to be, well, destroyed, for the pride to be removed.
Is that asking for annihilation, though? Or is it more like
I-
like wanting that strong will to be redirected?
Right.
When they say destroy the selfish part, it almost sounds less like giving up and more like optimizing.
Oh, absolutely optimization. That's a great way to put it. Surrender here isn't losing yourself. The text reframes it completely. It's called a great blessing.
A blessing. Okay.
And this is where it gets really practical. The text talks about the yoke is easy and your burden is light.
Okay, let's unpack that. For someone listening, what does easy yoke actually mean in, practical terms, maybe outside the purely theological?
Well, it suggests the real burden isn't following the command, whatever they might be for you. The real burden is the constant effort of resisting it. All that mental energy you spend fighting, ignoring, arguing with what you kind of know is right or necessary, that's exhausting. That's the heavy yoke. So the text is saying compliance, alignment. That's actually easier. It leads to peace, not that constant internal friction.
So connecting it all up, the goal here seems to be finding that internal harmony again.
Mm.
Moving from being the odd one out, the resistor, back into that flow of universal obedience. Like the stars and the sea that move at your command.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how much energy we pour into just being the exception, even in small everyday things.
It does. Yeah, I think the key takeaway from this deep dive really is that profound tension the author draws out so well. Infinite power organizing everything versus the stubborn, costly pride inside one person.
And that reflection leads us to a final thought to maybe leave with you, the listener. It comes from the author's closing plea. They ask, "Don't let me grow comfortable in disobedience. Don't let me become numb to your voice."
Right. And that raises a question for all of us, really, whatever our beliefs are. What does it take for you to stay alert? To avoid getting comfortable in that resistance, that stubbornness, especially when you know deep down it's not working for you.
Whether it's spiritual resistance or just, avoiding that difficult conversation you need to have.
Exactly. The text argues that resistance, in the end, costs way more than surrender, something to maybe chew on this week.